What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for being here. As you guys can see, I've changed up the chat because I hated that before it was like this black block that was like super, just like, I just felt like it didn't look very good. I'm still figuring everything out. I'm not sure how much I like this. I want to try and maybe do some like gradient, like a black gradient here, just so it's a little bit easier to see the chat. Or maybe I'll make the words black or something like that. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys so much for being here. Probably going to be a little bit shorter of a stream today just because I have a lot of things to do. I have to go food shopping because I am like out of food right now. But I wanted to come on and say hi. Basically what I'm trying to do right now, as far as like you guys have seen me doing, I've obviously been doing a lot of lives. And so for me, the reason I'm doing that is basically it's like trying to get better through repetition, right? And so that's kind of why I've been doing so many live streams, is just I'm trying to get better. I've been trying to, get better quality stuff, and actually recently just bought a new monitor that's going to be going on the side of my laptop. So I use my laptop for like most of the stuff, but then I also have my iPad, which is connected to my my laptop, which kind of helps with being able to read the comments as I am live streaming. But I have like a monitor that's going to be much bigger, so it'll be much better, hopefully. Okay, so as you guys saw, the title of this stream is body shaming okay? And that's kind of the main thing that I wanted to talk about. Now, before we get into the topic, I do want to say, if you haven't joined the Discord, I'm going to bother you guys every single stream because I like the Discord. So I see that Jessica is in here. She's one of the moderators. If she could post the link to the Discord, that would be great. If you haven't joined the Discord, that's where it's like a community of people. We're just, talking about weight loss, fitness, and other things. It's been a lot of fun. So if you want to join the Discord, make sure you go ahead and do that. You guys can give me in the Discord. You can also give me reaction requests. So you guys can be like, hey, this video, I would love to see what your thoughts are on this. So if that's something that you're interested in, go check out the Discord. Okay. All right, so what I want to talk about today is this was a post. It was actually something that I saw on Facebook, and it's kind of a long read, and so I want to kind of read through it and give my opinion on it. So as you guys can see with the text, or the title of the stream is body shaming okay? And that's kind of the question that that's kind of the question that I'm proposing here in this stream. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say that I can answer the question. I know everyone has their own opinions on this. Yeah, so before we get into that, I want to answer some of your guys' questions, and then we can get into the actual topic. And so what we'll do is I'm going to read a couple of these. Or if anyone has any questions, let me know. Because I want to, I want to answer some questions before we get into the actual reading, just so more people can kind of filter in here and stuff like that. Yeah. Your Discord is doing so good. I'm one of the moderators, and Obesity is such a good server owner. He's so helpful for us moderators. Thanks, Blood Rain. Yeah, it's been a learning experience. Like, Discord is, I thought it was like, I was just very ignorant going into it. I thought it was like, oh, you just start it up and then people start talking. But it's actually, I don't want to say it's a lot of work, but there is work that is involved in keeping it, the community that I want it to keep it, because it's very easy for the Discord to kind of get overrun by whatever, right? So, hi John, I'm from Bristol in the UK. What's up, Elliot? Thanks for being here. What do you guys think of the text here? I'm kind of liking it. I think it looks much better than before. I'm liking it. Look at it. Beautiful. Beautiful. What's up, Brada? That's how I'm going to call it. That's what I'm going to say your name is. It's probably not your name, but it's fine. Hello from Ireland. I like it. Thank you. The font needs to be Comic Sans. Maybe. Hey, it's a thought. You never know. It looks better than yesterday. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better for sure. And it's not too hard to read. I'm looking at the screen right now. It doesn't seem like it's too hard to read. Reminds me of AIM Chat. Yeah, a little bit. I'm figuring out. There's this website that I went on and customized it as much as I could. But yeah, someone I know this is going to sound like I'm asking for money, but if anyone wants to leave a super chat, I'm just curious to see what it will look like in chat. I'm not saying you have to like pay me a bunch of money or anything like that, but I'm just kind of curious to see what color it is as the text in here. So if someone wants to do that. Shame, Jessica said, shame is an interesting topic. Shame is what keeps people from doing bad things. Shameful behavior is frowned upon in that regard. Shame can be healthy. I think that's a really interesting point of view there. I think I can agree with that for sure. I don't agree with making people feel bad about themselves. However, I don't agree with fat activists trying to normalize obesity. I would agree with that. I think that where a lot of people disagree with as far as normalizing obesity is what is normalizing obesity. Because sometimes I think where people have, for science, how does it look? Okay, I just want to see. Oh, okay. I don't love how that looks, but thank you for the thanks for the super chats. I appreciate it. It doesn't look that bad. I guess I don't know. I feel like the white is hard to read when people leave it there. But I appreciate it. Seriously, thank you. But I think where people disagree with like normalizing obesity, sometimes if someone is just existing in a fat body and maybe they're posting just things in general, sometimes I think people will say that's normalizing obesity, and I personally don't fully 100% agree with that. I think there are things that normalize obesity that can be unhealthy, but I think that just someone existing in a bigger body doesn't necessarily mean that they're normalizing obesity. Even if they are an influencer, even if they are, someone in the public eye, I don't think that just them existing is normalizing obesity. I think that's where there's a big disconnect with a lot of people. But honestly, I had a feeling people were going to think that that's what I was talking about. I'm actually talking about something that actually the complete opposite of that in today's stream. And so, okay, now that there's more people in here, the thing that I wanted to talk about and the thing that I saw was actually, it was in I saw it on this was on a Facebook. It was actually a Facebook post, which I know is kind of strange, but that's the truth, man. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? So let's go into it. So this post was basically what ended up happening, and I want to read the post out to you guys and then hear your opinions after I'm done reading it. So if you guys can just, it's going to take a while because it's a pretty long text, but I would love to hear your opinions because I know I have my opinions, but I would like to hear what you guys think, okay? So I'm going to share my screen and we will get into it, okay? Alrighty. So this is it right here. And so I know it's probably kind of hard to read, but I think this is pretty much as big as I can make it. So what ended up happening, kind of a backstory. So what ended up happening was this girl went to Planet Fitness. She had been going there for a long time, and she ended up, obviously they closed down because of Corona, and they opened back up again, and she was wearing some kind of shorter shorts, and as we all know, with Planet Fitness, they have a lot of rules about what you can wear, what you can't wear. They have a lot of, they have rules to help make people feel comfortable, which I can understand, wanting people that might be intimidated in the gym to feel like they might feel a little bit uncomfortable. But let's go into reading what this says. So it says, after being a member of Planet Fitness for over 4 years and losing 40 pounds in the process, Thursday was the last time I will ever step foot in one again. After being banned and police escorted out for the length of my shorts, I entered the gym, changed, walked to the free weights, and did exactly 1 minute of jumping jacks before an employee approached me and said multiple people had complained my shorts were too short and I needed to change. This is the 4th time I've been told my clothing is not appropriate. Only this time there was only one other person in the gym who hadn't talked to them, and this was my first time wearing these shorts since coming back. I told them I would appreciate it if they didn't judge me for my clothing and just let me work out. They told me corporate would be in to talk to me. I told them that was fine and continued my workout. At one point as the only person in there. So apparently at some point there was only, it was just her in there. Okay, so about 20 to 30 minutes later, they approached me again and told me I needed to leave. At this time, there were only 4 others working out. I asked why I was being told to leave, and they said my shorts were too short. I turned to the 4 people working out and asked them if my shorts were intimidating. They said no. I turned back to the employees and told them that nobody is bothered by my shorts and that I was sick of being harassed for my clothing, and if no one else has an issue with my shorts, I wasn't leaving. They said their manager, Mackenzie, I guess, had told them to leave me, had told them to ask me to leave. She wasn't even there, which according to their handbook, the manager is required to be on site from 9 to 5 on Thursdays. She never saw my shorts, but told them to kick me out and do what they must to get me out of there. They told me policy calls for them to call the police. I told them go ahead and kept working out. Several minutes later, 2 officers from SAPD walked in. I turned to them and asked them if they were my ride. They asked what the problem was. I told them my shorts were too short. They turned back to the employees and asked why they were asked to come here. The employees and I both said our bits, and the officers once again asked why they were asked why they were there, but told me if I was asked to leave, I need to leave. I told them I was going to change and then I'd leave. I asked them if they were going to wait for me. They asked me if it was necessary. I told them it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary for them to be there in the first place. Okay, so that's the first. All right. Sorry, I told you, I know this is long. I will get to the questions and anything in chat once I'm done reading this, because I can only do so much at one time. Okay, I changed, came out and asked for the handbook. They gave me the staff copy because when asked to do their jobs, they usually freeze up because all anyone knows to do is stand behind the counter and judge people or play on their phones. At this time, an older gentleman came over to the officers and told them I did nothing wrong and this whole thing was completely ridiculous. They said it certainly seemed that way. The employees asked me not to return and we walked out. The officers then told me to just go to a real gym and we parted ways peacefully. Friday, my mother enters the gym in the same exact pair of shorts. She walks from the locker room to a treadmill and is instantly approached and told she can't stay this time. She can stay this time, but needs to wear longer shorts next time. My mother is not a body confident woman, despite being the badass, strong mama she is. What does this do to a person's headspace who is just trying to feel better about themselves? They handed her a policy sheet which says no short shorts. She asked for clarification, and they said it's up to their own discretion. Wow. That means they use their own judgment. I am not dropping it here. I am not dealing with their sexist bull any longer, and neither should any of you. This company thrives on weakness and tears down confidence. They don't deserve your money, and they don't deserve your business. I have had over 300 people from across the U.S. and Canada reach out furious about this situation, with at least a third sharing their own Planet Fitness horror stories. They are all women. Share this and boycott this corrupt, crappy, judgmental company. Stop giving your hard-earned money to companies that thrive in your failure. Please note, so many people have mentioned issues with canceling the company, canceling and the company still taking money out. And edit, I received no trespass notice on the 13th via certified mail dated the 19th. Dated the 9th, which states I am unable to contact this facility or corporate headquarters in any way, shape, or form, or they will pursue legal action. They have since asked me to contact him 3 times. My mother, the angel that she is, has since received a no trespass notice of her own. She left without them asking her to and canceled on the spot. There is absolutely zero cause for this. Mess with me all you want, but nobody else with my mama. I will not sit back from this continued harassment and oppression with our voices. Okay, so now, sorry, I know that was a long one. Let's look at these shorts, okay? Obviously that's kind of important. So here are the shorts. These are the shorts that she is wearing, okay? So as you can see, I mean, they're short shorts, I guess. So here are the shorts. and then it shows her mom wearing the shorts as well. Okay, so there are the shorts there. Okay, so let's talk. Alrighty, I know that was kind of long. I appreciate you guys sticking around. So I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys think of that. What do you guys think of the fact that they kicked out those two women for wearing those shorts? Does anyone, I'm curious, is there anyone that thinks that that is totally fine and they're within their they're totally allowed to do that? I'm kind of curious because obviously a lot of people are saying that's ridiculous, which I understand that. But I'm kind of curious to see. Okay, so Neon Knight, I think the member was in the wrong. Why do you believe that? I'm just genuinely curious. I wear shorts like that. Waste of taxpayers' money. I do think that calling the police is a little extreme, but if someone's not doing it, I personally think that they're very short. Okay. Those are normal. Those shorts are fine. I see men in shorts. So the thing for me that I 100%, and this is my opinion, and people might completely disagree with this, which is totally fine. In my opinion, I think it is totally fine for Planet Fitness to have that rule. Do I think, like, they're totally allowed to do it? That is 100% in their right. Do I think it's a very stupid rule? Yes. For me personally, I go to a CrossFit gym, okay? There are girls here that work out in very, very short shorts and a sports bra, right? I am very normalized to that. That's a normal thing for me to see. So when I saw those shorts, for me, I have no problem with that. Do I think that Planet Fitness is trying to be sexist with these rules? I genuinely don't think that is their idea of why they do that. I think more so it's they want to make people that are normally maybe uncomfortable at a gym, right? That are, they might see a girl in short shorts or a dude in a stringer, because that's also a rule, right? Guys can't wear stringers at Planet Fitness. They will see that and maybe they'll feel intimidated, but at the same time, I think that it's wrong to kind of shame people that might be kind of fit for wearing clothes that make them feel fit, right? Because, like, I wear stringers sometimes at the gym, and I would probably get in trouble at Planet Fitness. Now, for me, this is how I feel. If that is genuinely a concern of mine, right, and I was genuinely concerned that Planet Fitness was going to get mad at me for what I'm wearing, what that means to me is there's no reason for me to go to Planet Fitness anymore, right? I just should go to a different gym. And I think that most people would agree with that. But I understand a lot of places that have Planet Fitnesses, that's like the only gym in the area. So you kind of have to, like, if you want to use their services, you kind of have to listen to their rule. What is a stringer? A stringer is like a super, it's just like a super, like, low, let me try and find, I'll just show you guys what a stringer looks like. Let's see, stringer. Stringer shirt. So these are what stringers are. So that's a stringer. And just so you guys know, that's exactly what I look like in a stringer. Okay? I look just like I think this actually might be a photo of me, to be honest. But I just thought that it was interesting reading that, because I know a lot of people have had horror stories about Planet Fitness, and so, like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if, like, do you think they would have done the same thing if the girl was, like, really overweight? Do you think they would have had the same reaction and done the same thing? I'm curious what you guys think about that. So it seems like most people seem to believe that they probably would have done the same thing, and I am inclined to probably agree with that in this instance. The only reason, now this is hard because as they stated in the rules, it's up to the discretion of the workers, right? And so if there is no specific rule that says they can only be this short, then people would have, like, there is no, like, they can only be 5 inches. They can't be shorter than whatever, right? So it's really up to the person that is working to decide whether or not the shorts are too short. Now, the reason that I do believe they probably would have enforced this rule regardless of how the person looked is because, you know, the girl that initially was wearing the shorts, let's look at the photos. The girl that was initially wearing the shorts here, she is like a pretty fit girl, you know, she has like nice legs or whatever. Like, she looks like she's pretty fit. But when you look at her mom, no offense to her mom, but her mom's just like a regular looking person, right? Like, doesn't look like a fitness person at all. Like, I wouldn't see that as a person that was like really scared to go to the gym, and I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm so intimidated. But the fact that they still went up to her and said, hey, we can't have you wearing those shorts, like, that's against our policy, then I believe that they were at least with their rules, they were saying, you know, these shorts aren't okay. Whether or not I think that they're not too short, but that's just my own personal opinion, right? But I will say at least they are enforcing it overall, right? It's not just a person by person thing. Now, the only thing that I kind of worry about is, I wonder if they knew that was her mom, right? And they knew that basically what they were trying to do was kind of play the system. You know, for me, it's like, I can understand why she would be upset because I can understand why she would be upset because especially if she'd worn the shorts in the past, which I don't know if 100% if she said that they had. But if she had worn the shorts in the past, I can understand being frustrated. You know, that stuff like that has happened to me where, like, I'd be at the gym and I was used to, like, always, I would carry my bag with me, and sometimes, like, there was a rule that you can't have your bag with me, but everyone had their bag, and then all of a sudden one day they're like, hey, you can't have your bag with you. And it's kind of frustrating, right? But at the same time, like, it is a rule, right? And so, I don't know. I've seen, so it's a very popular thing in the fitness industry to, like, poop on Planet Fitness, right? Which I think, I mean, they're funny memes and, like, they're funny things. But if there is a gym that makes people feel comfortable and they actually enjoy being there, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, that's so, like, I should be able to go there and grunt and, like, lift hundreds and, like, wear a stringer and, like, all this stuff, right? Like, for me, I understand that gym isn't for me. Like, I would never go to a Planet Fitness, like, unless it was, I've actually been to one because it was the only gym in the area. But I listened to all the rules and I made sure that I was, you know, like, it's a private business. They're allowed to have their rules. But I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting post that I wanted to read out to you guys and kind of share, like, see what your opinions are on it. So, yeah, kind of curious what you guys think of that. A public backlash against Planet Fitness is appropriate to force Planet Fitness to relax their stupid rules. I can see that, like, kind of trying to get them to change. I went to the gym in gray leggings and my cookie outline. My cookie. I didn't realize what that was saying until I read it. Well, let's read it. My cookie outline could be seen. Some guy was staring and I looked down. It was embarrassing. Never again did I wear them without a long shirt over them. Oh, I feel bad for you. You would never go, but if you did, you'd follow the rules. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that. What's up, Sean Johnson? I'm really surprised that Planet Fitness thought it was too much. I thought it was rather conservative compared to what I've seen other guys wear at the gym. Yeah, see, that's the only thing that I'm like, I struggle with, is because, say if you have a membership to Planet Fitness, and you go to one in this town, right, and then you travel to the next town, and all of a sudden, these all of a sudden the rules are basically completely different at this Planet Fitness because maybe they're more strict on the guidelines. Like, that would be hard as a member of Planet Fitness. So for me, I would say Planet Fitness should really think about, should we make the rule, like, they should enforce the rules with the employees really hard, right? If those are the rules that they want, right? They've made those rules in corporate or whatever, right? They obviously, that's what they want at their gym. That's what they're trying to cultivate. They should make it so the employees are strict. Even if the employees don't want to be strict, like, if you are going to work there, you should be like, okay, I'm going to enforce the dress code, and every employee should have to do that. I know that that's not super feasible and, like, realistically, but, like, if you're going to have these rules and then basically leave it up to the employees, even at the same gym, there might be one employee that is, like, super strict and is like, oh my gosh, like, anything that's above the knee is too short, right, for that employee. And then for another employee, they're like, I don't think any shorts are too short. As long as you're not wearing underwear, like, you're fine. And so it's like, that's the issue, right? Where did this happen? That's a good question. Let's see here. I think it was, like, I don't know where she wrote. Let's see here. Into the gym. She said something about, like, where it was at exactly. Man, where is it? Sorry, I have, like, a million tabs open. It happened in San Antonio based on SAPD. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. So San Antonio, Texas is where it seems to that it happened at. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting post, and obviously you guys are kind of, I kind of enjoy, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoy talking about these, like, this one's not super controversial, but it is fun, like, especially in chat, seeing people disagree, because I think that conversation, like, you guys know I love conversation and I love talking about this stuff, and so the fact that so many people are disagreeing in chat, honestly, like, you guys are being pretty civil, which I appreciate, but, like, I think that it's good to that it's good to I don't know, disagree and, like, share your opinions and stuff like that. Your own insecurity isn't other people's problems. What do you mean by that? They'll bring a suit to shut you down. I don't think Planet Fitness is going to shut. So Michelle says, why are the shorts a problem? Why should there be a rule? So from what I understand with Planet Fitness, like, their whole MO and, like, what they are trying to do as a gym is make it comfortable for everyone. I know, like, I'm not sure how much this actually happens, but it is true that Planet Fitness, like, they used to give out bagels and, like, pizza on Fridays and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they still do that, but the whole premise of like, their gym and stuff is they're trying to make it a judgment-free zone. So they're trying to make it so everyone feels comfortable. So if you have never been to the gym and you're, like, you know, you have gym intimidation, you're super scared, you feel comfortable enough to go to the gym, to go to Planet Fitness, right? Like, you don't feel intimidated by that. So I think that that's why they have these rules. But at the same time, it's like, it's almost it just is almost impossible to make everyone feel like welcome, especially if you're going to make rules about this stuff, right? Because now, as we see, that girl that made the post that wore the shorts, she feels like she was discriminated against, which, I mean, I can understand. Again, yes, I understand that there are rules, but I can understand, like, having the cops called on you and being escorted out of a gym. That's probably not a fun experience to have. So of course now she feels like she's discriminated against, and this was all because they had the goal of being as judgment-free and welcoming as possible, but in turn, by trying to be as welcoming as possible, they feel that they need to kind of get rid of people that maybe might not make people feel welcome. Like, I do think that, like, if we take it, like, I think it's important to, like, think about why they probably made the rule, right? Why did they probably make this rule? Because there are 100% dudes and girls that go to gyms that you guys have seen them, that try and walk around and assert their dominance, and they have, like, the lat syndrome, and they're just like, They always just like walk around and they like grab things and they slam them and they're just like, like they just go crazy, right? We've all seen that, and so they want to avoid people doing that stuff, which I can understand why they would feel that way, right? Like, they don't want the regular Bill and Jane to be like, oh my gosh, this dude is a freaking steroid freakazoid. I don't want to come here anymore. So they're trying to avoid that, which I can understand because there are a lot of people that feel uncomfortable with that, right? But again, if we're talking about that, right, we're talking about that situation, very easy to be like, okay, yeah, that dude was a douche. He needs to get out of there. Okay. But then it's like, once you get to the middle where there's the gray area, that's where stuff like this becomes a gray area, right? It's like, okay, what do we do? What do we avoid? What should we say is okay? What should we say isn't okay? And I think that's obviously where this falls. I don't know. Who knows? The thing is like, who knows if this girl that made the post is being completely transparent about previous altercations that maybe have happened in the gym. Who knows? Maybe she had gone into the gym a few times and they've been like, hey, like, those shorts are a little bit too short or whatever, right? Regardless of if you think the rule is stupid, it is a rule that they have there and they're allowed to have that rule. So, who knows if that's maybe happened in the past, which it totally is possible that happened, right? I don't know this girl. I don't know if she's lying. And so maybe there has been those things and this was the final straw, and that's why, because she was talking about how the manager of the gym didn't even see her, but she still said get rid of her, right? So maybe it's been a problem in the past. Maybe it's just gotten to a point where they're like, this girl just needs to go, like, she is not listening to the rules, and you know, maybe that's how they feel. I don't know. Who knows? I think it's a very interesting situation when gyms have dress codes. I think that they are allowed to enforce it, and if it means that they get bad press and that people get upset at them, that is what it is. You know? I don't know. This girl needs a new gym. Yeah, I mean, that's obvious. That, for me, it's like, okay, if that was an issue for you, why would you even want to go back there anyways? You know, if like there was a gym that I went to that said like you're being too loud or whatever, I'd be like, okay, well, this obviously either, okay, I'll listen to the rules because whatever, okay, if that's your rule, then that's fine. Or, okay, well, this gym obviously isn't for me, right? I'm just trying to get fit and she's over here being attention seeking. I don't know what you guys are talking about now. She wasn't being body shamed. She was being called out for not following a rule. This is like a business refusing service to someone who open carries in an open carry state. Each business has the right to refuse service, and citizens have the right to open carry. Yeah, I would say I agree with that. It's hard to find another gym. That's a great point, too. It's hard to find another gym for $10 a month. That is a great point. There are not many gyms. In San Diego, we actually have quite a few. We have Crunch, Choose. I think there are Planet Fitnesses here as well. And they're all pretty cheap, like around $10 to $20 a month. But yeah. O2B is anti-shorts. No, I'm not. All right? Jeez. I'm just, sharing the things. All right. I will kind of... So there was something in the Discord where someone... Where's my Discord at? Where'd you go, Discord? 1 second. Discord. Open up Discord. What's the Discord? We'll have someone post it. And therefore, there you go. I can understand how wearing just a sports bra is helpful if you are sweating and working out, but it's the ones who do it for attention that messes it up for everyone. See, that's interesting because it's like, okay, well, who's doing it for attention? Because I genuinely think that there are some, like, I think that, I don't know, that's an interesting way to phrase it. The people that are doing it for attention, because then it's like, well, who's doing it for attention, right? Like, I would say, when you, it's funny because when you talk about women, I'm going to get canceled for this, but like, when you talk about women that wear, a sports bra, a lot of times it's, oh, they're doing it for attention. But you don't really hear that as much when you hear people talking about men wearing stringers, right? Doing it for attention. Like, I think for the most part, usually the dudes are doing it for attention. Like, I know for me, when I wear a stringer, I definitely want people to be like, oh, dude, that guy looks pretty jacked. You know? Like, that's a nice feeling. But at the same time, like, I genuinely enjoy wearing those types of things when I'm doing, like, a back day, because I feel like, you know, my lats don't get, like, covered by the fabric, which is uncomfortable. So, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. It's like, you cannot say that men and women are treated completely equally, especially when it comes to clothing, right? And so I don't know. It really is an interesting topic. So, what's wrong with doing it for attention? Don't like it, don't look at it. I can see where you're coming from there too. All right. So let's go to the reaction request thing. I want to see if there's any good stuff in here. Come through, John, with the education. Thank you. You know, I'm trying. For me, like, so I'm going to be completely honest. So I used to be like, oh, that's stupid. Like, women are just complaining. Well, no, I wasn't that aggressive about it, but I definitely was like more like, I don't really understand why people are freaking out so much. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But actually having been with my girlfriend for a while now, we're long distance, so we don't get to see each other that much. But the amount that she talks about getting like dudes that just bother her or are like make her feel uncomfortable in the gym, and she's not like wearing a sports bra and short shorts at the gym. Like, she doesn't do that. She might wear, you know, leggings and a tighter shirt or something like that, but knowing her, I know that she's not going there. Like, the last thing she wants is attention from guys, right? I know that to be true, and she still gets it, right? And so for me now, I'm like, okay, like, if I see a girl at the gym, I mean, it's been such a long time. The people that are asking for a stringer, I showed it earlier, but it's just like it's a tank top that is just like super low cut, and basically it's almost like a tank top that has nothing on it. So that's why I have, in the past, like when we first started dating, I was like, started talking a lot about the fact of, I just like, for me personally, I don't think it's a good idea to go into the gym and like try and like, if I were to go into a gym and I saw a girl that was like, oh, that girl's pretty, for me, I am not going to try and talk to her. And I know people are like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like, it's fine. But it's like, unless it's so painfully obvious that this person wants me to talk to them, I'm just going to leave them alone, because like, the gym is a place, especially for me, I go in there, I put in my headphones. I don't want anyone to talk to me. Like, I'm going to be honest. Unless it's at a CrossFit gym, because at a CrossFit gym it's different. But if I am at a regular 24-hour fitness gym and I have my headphones in and someone comes up to talk to me, I don't like that. I don't want people talking to me when I'm at the gym. And so I know my girlfriend doesn't want that either. And so for me, it's like, I just know I'm going to let the person at the gym do what they want to do and live their life. And it's not about me trying to talk to this person. And like, this isn't a place for me to pick up people. And I know some people will be like, well, there's these girls that wear short shorts and they're always looking in the mirror and they're taking pictures. And there definitely are some girls that go to the gym and want attention. But like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't want to give them attention, I won't give them attention. And I don't know, like, this definitely went way different than I thought it was going to, but it's kind of a fun conversation. But like, I see a lot of people that get genuinely upset at women that are at the gym for attention, but it's like, most guys are also at the gym for attention, right? It's just like, for me, it's like, I'm going to go to the gym for myself. I don't care what anyone else is doing, whether you're a man or a woman or whatever. Like, I just don't care. But yeah. Also, if you are practicing for a show, you might be looking in the mirror. Yeah, well, I mean, 100%. Like, if you're trying, like, practicing your posing and stuff like that. And I'm yeah. So Great Tribulation says, I don't know, I'm very social. Like, it's just my nature. I can understand that. I'm definitely not that way. Like, I enjoy talking to you guys and I enjoy talking to people, but I definitely go. Like when I'm at the gym, I don't know. I'm not social. Like I am not at the gym to talk to anybody. That's just how I am. But yeah. LOL saying some dude came up to me. Running because I was watching a Dragon Ball Z game on my phone and he was asking me about it. Like, I didn't think a girl watched Do You Play? I mean, there is definitely like... So yeah, like Angela said, my entire reason to start going to the gym was to meet dudes. Then COVID happened. Like, I'm not sitting here and saying that everyone has to agree with my point of view. I don't think that. Obviously, I'm not a girl. I don't know what it's like. I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like to be in that situation. So I can't speak for you guys. But I've been working on, this is random, but I've been working on not saying girls because I know some people think that that's like patronizing or infantilizing, I think is the word that people have told me. And so I'm trying not to use the like girls. I'm trying to say women. I know there's a lot of people that it doesn't even register and they're like, why is that even a problem? But if it makes other people feel comfortable, I don't know. I don't really mind doing it. Yes, don't talk to me at the gym. One guy came up and tied my shoe for me instead. Oh my gosh. Don't talk to me at the gym. One guy came up to me and tied my shoe for me instead of telling me, hey, your shoe is untied, then gave me his number. Dear Lord. Say females. I've heard that females can be seen as like being derogatory as well. So that's why I try not to use that either. The gym is a weird vibe post-lockdown. Okay, so let's go into one of the videos that you guys posted on the reaction request thing. There was one that I know people do not say females. Yeah. Just don't say the ladies. If I say ladies, I get slapped for being sexist. I think just saying women, woman, I feel like that's kind of safe to say. We are women, so just say woman. Yeah. Okay. So this is a video by Jubilee that is called Can Body Positive and Fitness Enthusiasts Find Middle Ground? One second, it's going to be loud. Sorry.
And it's free. TV, sports, breaking news, docs, tunes, more?
Come on.
Tons. And that's why you can't not watch.
Can you guys hear that? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you guys, were you guys able to hear what was just playing? Yes. Okay, cool. No. Yes. Okay, I don't believe Sarah. She's lying. All right. So this video, wow, this has a lot of views. One second, I have to let it play through the ads. Yes, I heard it. We heard the ads, but nothing else. Well, I wasn't playing it when I was asking that. It's still playing the ads.
In an effort to...
Okay. Alright, so this video, again, is called Can Body Positive and Fitness Enthusiasts Find Middle Ground? And this is by Jubilee. So I'm kind of curious to see what this is like. I haven't seen this video, so I'm watching it for the first time with you guys.
Have challenging conversations in this day and age. It's like, well, you do you, like whatever's best for you. But then what if best for you is actually harmful to yourself and...
I swear, I better not get copyright... better not get a copyright strike for this video. If I do, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something else out and not watch these on stream or something. I don't know.
Others.
Middle ground. We brought fitness enthusiasts and body positive activists together to spark dialogue about their differences and similarities. This is actually something I really, really want to do. Like, genuinely, I've been trying to make it to where I can get like people that disagree with me on the whole body positivity thing, fat activists, health at every size, and have like genuine conversations. I think that it would be fun to disagree with someone on stream and share our points of view and like try and find find some middle ground or find some understanding, because I think one of the most interesting things about anyone is understanding how did you get to where you are now in your beliefs. And I think that I just think that it's so interesting. And so like I think I'm super jealous that these people got to do this. I would love to do something like this. So it says, remember not to step forward unless the statement is true for you.
My health is a top priority in my life.
You never know how bad you feel until you...
That's really interesting, because I feel like a lot of times when we hear people talk about, when people think about body positivity, they think, oh, these people don't care about their health and they don't at all care about how they feel and stuff like that. So it's interesting that everyone stepped forward right there.
Start feeling better than you've ever felt in your life. And I've been on both ends of the spectrum, and damn, it's very different to now being like really focused on the mind, body, and soul, and like really having all parts just as equal as the others.
For me, I am a cancer survivor, and so my entire life now is about making sure that I have a life, to continue. So
yeah, I was diagnosed with lymphedema at age 3, which affects the circulation for me through my legs and feet. So health for me has always been at the top of my mind, because if I don't take care of my body, I could have an amputated foot or leg. So it's nothing that I play around with.
All of my family almost has suffered from diabetes, heart disease and stuff like that. So that's why I'm extra conscious about my health, because I don't want to come down with any of those diseases.
It's interesting that pretty much all of them, everyone has a story as to why they care about their health and stuff like that, right? Like for me, obviously, when I was at my heaviest, like I had a lot of issues. I was, I was basically pre-diabetic, and like I was at 20 years old, like genuinely I was afraid of dying, basically, right? Like dying before I turned 30, before I turned 35. Like that was a genuine fear that I had. And so like I know that truth there is a big reason why I am so passionate about health and about helping people lose weight, right? And so I understand that my past has led me to where I am now, without a doubt, 100,000%.
I have a regular workout routine.
I've been working out consistently since I was 19 years old.
Well, I mean, like, duh, dude. That dude's freaking jacked. Like, anyone's surprised by that.
I used to work out 2 hours a day, but then I realized it's way too long. So now my workout sessions with weights are about 45 minutes, and then the rest is stretching and cardio. And I spend a lot of time stretching because it allows me to get in the zone, kind of like a meditation of sorts.
It's all mental. Like I go to the gym or work out or do something kind for my body in forms of movement every day because it keeps me sane. Like if I don't go there, then I feel like something's missing, and I get a little bit depressed.
Singing all by myself back there. I was going to the gym regularly every day for like 6 months, and then my life shifted. I lost my father. Like a lot of things happened in my life that threw off my whole routine. And so the point when I was going to the gym so regularly, I felt like my brain felt happier. Like I've gotten that feeling back in other ways. I have no desire in me to change my body in any way. I like when my butt gets a little bigger. I agree with you on that one.
Not at all.
See, this is where we're gonna get, because I will tell you, not every big person wants to be small.
See, like the one, I mean, this has been a great video so far and stuff, and it's interesting, but I wish they would have kept that conversation going, because that would have been, that's like what I think people are curious about. That's what I was curious about. So I'm really sad that they didn't keep that going, because it's interesting, because the guy said, you know, I was going to the gym before, and like I found happiness there, and now I found other ways to be happy. And I wish they would have like kind of gone a little bit further, and like explain, like he could have explained what he's doing. Like, I don't know. And the thing is too, and I'm just being honest here, is like none of these. So if you look at these people, none of these people on the, you know, the body positivity health kind of spectrum, like this dude's kind of big, but they're not really, really, really large or anything like that, right? And I think that it would have been much more interesting if they would have had someone that was, you know, 400, 500 pounds, someone that is very pro, like very anti-health, anti like fitness, anti-diet, anti all that stuff, that really, really disagreed with anyone that like works out, right? I kind of wish that they would have had that, because everyone here seems to be like, you know, no one's like way on one side. Like obviously there's this super jacked dude right here, but I don't know. I think that it would have been really interesting.
I am conscious about what I eat.
I'm conscious about what I eat.
My mom had me in Weight Watchers in junior high. Like, so my relationship with food and what I'm putting into my body has been like completely, can we curse, fucked up, like since the very beginning.
I've had a severe sugar addiction since I was a kid.
And it, like the binge eating, like it makes you feel like everything, I can't have this is the enemy. So when I see it and I can have it, I'm like, oh, I want to eat it all.
Every day I wake up, I have a green smoothie. I'm always very conscious of like what I'm putting into me, which I think is, I'm just gonna say the controversial statement, I think is something that people would never think is true based off the size of my body.
There's so much studies that are coming out, like in terms of like your microbiome, like the microbiome that you have, like you can literally eat green smoothies and eat like everything you're supposed to be eating and not lose the weight, because you have an imbalance in your microbiome. And then people who are thin, they're just really thin, but they eat McDonald's every day.
Okay, well, see, I'm sure that she is trying to be like kind to, you know, the people that maybe are like trying to lose weight and they're struggling with it, and I understand that, but I think that for the most part, you know, unless you have diagnosed issues, you are overweight because you are eating in a caloric surplus. And I think that a lot of people, they just don't realize that they are eating in a caloric surplus, but they might be eating healthy food. Like you can eat healthy food and still be in a surplus, right? Like you can eat green smoothies and like eat like avocado and peanut butter and all this stuff, and you don't realize that a lot of this stuff is like super high in fat, and you are now in a caloric surplus, and that is why you're not losing weight. Like a lot of people, I think they have this health halo around certain foods, and they think, oh, if this is healthy, so I can eat whatever I want. You know, a really good example of this is like trail mix and nuts and stuff like that. Like those things are super calorically dense, or like granola, right? Like those things are super calorically dense, and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm eating healthy, but like 2 handfuls of these things end up being like hundreds of calories. And so that's where a lot of people kind of fall into traps and stuff like that.
They don't realize is how much they're clogging their arteries, and they die of heart attacks more than quote unquote big people.
So I will say, and I think that's a great point, like just looking, so okay, when it comes to health at every size, I've said this many times in videos, health, for the most part, you cannot tell how healthy someone is just by their size, right? Because like he just says, you can be in a healthy weight range or not obese or not overly skinny and have really messed up insides because you eat absolute garbage constantly, right? Like I understand that. But when we talk about health at every size, we're talking about every size, right? And so that also means being like really, really, really large. And when you're looking at someone that is obviously super overweight, then yeah, they're probably not healthy. And it's the same thing as someone that's super underweight. But I would say for the most part, if you're not looking at the extremes, if you're just looking in the middle, yeah, you can't just look at someone and be like, oh, they're healthy. Because even like, you know, that dude that has like super huge muscles, you know, this guy right here, who knows if he's like, I'm not sitting here saying he is doing steroids or anything like that, but like, you don't know. A lot of times there are people that are completely wrecking their body because they want to look healthy or look fit, and they are doing the complete opposite and genuinely ruining their insides because they want to look a certain way. So I agree with that for the most part.
Negative feedback about my body growing up.
It said, I received negative feedback from my body growing up.
There you go.
I would have people, like some family members be like, oh, you look a little heavier than you did last year. And then other family members that were a lot more direct, like, when are you going to lose the weight? And it's been like that, I would say, my whole life. And then we got to a point where I was getting compared to my little sister, who's like beautiful and thin. And it's like, it is so hard not to compare yourself to other people. It is so hard to have a healthy relationship with food and with fitness and just with other people. And it became so difficult to break out of that and to really love who I am inside.
My stepmom would take, like, if I had a wrapper of chips like in my room, like she would put it on top of like my dresser and say like, I'm not the reason why you're fat, this is. Like, it was all very like, but it was super crazy psychological because I was like, we've never even discussed this before.
I mean, I would say almost anyone, as far as when I was growing up, like, I think it's all, I don't know, for me it was like perception, because I know that I felt like my family was making me feel bad about my weight and they were like attacking me, but in reality, like, especially my mom, like, she never made fun of me because of my weight, but I know that she really struggled with how large I was, because other people would say stuff to her and basically be like, you're a bad mother, right? Like, she had people say this to her. This was actually a big reason why we actually left the old church that we went to, was because she had people come up to her and say, basically, in layman's terms, you're a bad mother because your son is as big as he is. And she hated that because, like, she tried her hardest, and I was the only person in my family that was as large as I was when I was my age. Like, all my siblings and stuff, like, they weren't like super pinnacles of health or anything like that, but they were not anywhere near my size. And so she didn't know what she was doing, and she was just trying her hardest to help, and like, she just wanted me to be healthy and happy, really was the main thing. And she would see how tired I was. She would talk about how, like, I had like these so all my extremities, so like even my elbows, my hands, my feet and stuff, I had these black marks that were very, like, I had really, really dry skin there. And I know now that I think a big part of that is because I had bad circulation because of my size, and she was genuinely terrified that I was going to die before her, right? And so, and same thing with my sister. I had a sister of mine that she would talk to me about my weight constantly. And I know that she only did it because she wanted to make me feel like she wanted to help me. But in my head, I just felt like she was attacking me, right? And so a lot of it, I think, does come down to perception. But again, obviously, like what that guy just explained with his stepmom coming in and being like, this is why you're fat. Obviously, that is not super, super helpful. So, yeah.
I'm from Texas. We all eat soul food. So everybody was eating the same shit food. So my mom, 250 pounds, my brother, 350 pounds. But I was eating the exact same foods, and I didn't even know until I got around Los Angeles health conscious people. I'm like, what? Wait, you mean to tell me you don't have freaking bacon cheeseburger every single day? I didn't know.
So, like, when you got to, like, what triggered it in your head that said, oh, this to me is the right way for me to look
I
now?
wanted to be a model.
The idea that you wanted to become a model, and the only idea of model to you meant being thin or fit or whatever that means.
Yeah, that's all I saw, because it wasn't as popular. Like, plus size wasn't popular back then when I was 18 years old.
Plus size is definitely not
But
popular.
it still opened up way more than it was when I was 18.
The conversation, I will say, is much more broad now. I feel like we're able to talk about these things a lot easier now than we were before. But what the actual way that the industry treats plus size models is totally different.
I think that there are, so when it comes to like modeling and stuff, that's a very interesting thing to me, because I think for the most part, just the modeling industry in general, like if you're talking about like classic super thin models, I think that that's unhealthy in itself anyways. And so I don't think that that's what people should be striving for either. but at the same time, I don't think that we should be going the opposite way. And like I was saying before, I think there is a difference between just like larger people or obese people existing. I don't think that that is at all normalizing or glorifying obesity, but I do think at some point when we start pushing out people that are very, very overweight, that are, you know, morbidly obese or whatever you want to call it, I think that there can be a level of glorifying obesity, because the reality is that being that size is not healthy and it causes so many issues. And should we be trying to make people feel better but also not really acknowledge the issues that they might be having, whether that's, you know, diabetes or heart issues or joint issues and stuff like that? So like, I honestly don't have an answer for it, but I do think it's an interesting question.
Sometimes people use being body positive as an excuse not to take care of themselves.
Wow.
This question.
I have to say, I didn't think that's interesting. I didn't think that anyone on the body positive side would have walked over. I think I probably would have walked over because I've seen it, but I think for the most part, people, I genuinely think for the most part, people don't use body positivity as a way to just not take care of yourself.
Makes me very passionate. This is really big for me because I've been like come for from other body positive influencers, but I feel like that messages other people put out are very dangerous to a young woman who thinks that it's okay. I don't care what size you are, it's not okay to sit and eat cheeseburgers and ice cream all day. Like,
ooh. So that, her saying that, like, there are a lot of people that would not be happy. Like, that's one of the things about like the body positivity and health at every size movement that I think is hard for people that are in it, is because if you don't have the same exact beliefs as someone else in the movement, you get attacked for it, right? We talked about that girl Eden Jax on one of the first streams, and she was getting attacked because she was trying to lose weight through WW or Weight Watchers, and people were like, I thought you were body positive, I thought you believed in health at every size, I thought you were this, I thought you were that. And so it's like, if you genuinely are like, I want to change my size because I feel like this is best for me in the long run, you genuinely can get attacked for that. So I don't know, I think that's very interesting she said that.
that has nothing to do with your size.
Yeah. I think there's a difference between acceptance and agreement. So like you can accept your body and be in disagreement with the health situation that you have, right? Like
we hear fit experts always saying, be skinny, lose weight, that's the healthy way to do it.
Like,
So,
how
but
could
we
you
never
love your
say,
body if you're fat?
At least we don't say, be fat because it's better for your heart, it's better for your soul, it's better for your, you know what I mean?
Honestly, even what you just said, like body acceptance versus body agreement, like to you, you might see one of us and be like, oh, they accept their bodies, but I'm sure they don't agree with what it looks like.
I mean, I wouldn't know unless I talked with someone, but like whatever the number, like whatever like is coming up in terms of like, you know, when you go to the doctor, like at the end of the day.
No, let's not even
But
start
even better,
that.
as fit people, when you see a person who is
See, I hope that they talk about the whole doctor thing, because that is a very interesting thing that I really hope that they talk about it, because I feel like they've been kind of dancing around a lot of the topics here.
overweight or fat or obese, however you want, whatever term you want to use, what's the first thing that happens in your head? Do you think like, oh, like it's great that they accept themselves, but they could use to lose weight? Or what is your first thought when you see something?
My very first thought, no one's like born that way. So you like there's habits and things that you observe
But
from
you actually can be
childhood.
born with that.
Say, like we
No,
could
no,
eat
no,
the exact
no,
same
no.
thing and be two different people.
It could be how you're
Here-
raised,
yeah.
parenting and stuff like that. I didn't really know what to expect today. I didn't know how the body positive individuals were going to come across. I didn't know if they were for a healthy lifestyle or not, but I think it's beautiful that you guys acknowledge how important it is to keep yourself healthy.
Do I feel like there are people in the body positive community that say, well, I'm just happy being fat and I'm just going to lay down and just do that? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You had fat pride, hashtag fat pride is like was something that was going on
It's
for a
become
little
big,
while.
just body positivity in general has become a big buzzword that everyone just throws out.
Exactly.
You said something at some point that body positivity and like health and stuff is different. Like,
Yeah.
is that what everybody thinks?
The actual body positive community was created to give a platform to bodies that have been marginalized in our society.
Right.
That's what it was actually created for.
Which means
big bodies,
super,
disabilities,
super skinny bodies, I mean, anything.
What
That's very interesting because you guys have seen. I have been attacked many times because I've been told that body positivity was created and for fat people of color. Like that is what I've been told is the definition. So technically, you know, this one girl I guess would be considered. I wouldn't even really consider her that overweight. But the other two people on the body positivity side, there are a lot of people in body positivity that would say you're not allowed, or body positivity actually wasn't created for you. It was created for fat people of color. And so it's interesting that they have a different definition. And I think that the reason I'm bringing that up is because I think that that's where the problem lies with a lot of this stuff, is that everyone has their own definition and own explanation of what body positivity is. And so everyone it feels like everyone disagrees on what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say, who's allowed to be body positive, who's not allowed to be body positive, all this stuff. And so I think that that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to like body positivity.
different races. And I want to scream because I'm like, actually, this is not meant for you. This is meant for bodies who don't have a voice.
The fitness community.
She just showed exactly where she's coming from. It's funny because you think that these people that are in like the body positivity, they would be open for everyone, like everyone can be body positive, but she's saying like this isn't for you. You know, say if you are like a lot of women get attacked because maybe they are like straight size, so they're not like overweight or anything like that. And they post like pictures of them and like showing their rolls or showing their cellulite or their stretch marks, and then they get attacked because like you're not allowed to use body positive because you aren't an overweight person, or you don't have this specific thing or this specific thing. And I think I personally think that that's wrong.
Is the reason why the body positive community exists, and I think that as a community it's important for you guys to be a little bit more inclusive.
People come up to me. Like then,
What was he gonna say?
It's important for you guys to be a little bit more inclusive.
people come up to me. Like then,
It was really great talking with you guys on that. I think we really did find a middle ground. But we did. I think we all realized that it's not this line. This really isn't a line.
Pride and ego out. Let's freaking talk.
I know, I love how the
Well, I mean, it was an interesting video, and I understand that they probably don't want people to like attack each other and stuff like that, but I mean, I really think that there was a lot of stuff that was like that could have been talked about. I think that they didn't have any. I think it would have been more interesting personally for me, and I mean, it would have been probably more argumentative, but if they had someone that was further on the body positivity, maybe health at every size role, and someone that was further on like, you know, the people that are like super against fat people. I don't necessarily agree with any of those people, but it would have been interesting seeing those kind of people like duke it out or argue, just because I think that would have been at least an interesting video, or at least a more interesting video. But that was really interesting. I appreciate you sending that into the Discord. Okay, so let's answer some questions because we have been doing a lot of just like talking and stuff, and I feel kind of bad. I feel like I haven't been paying attention to you guys. Sorry, just setting this all up. Let's see. Do you think the extremist when it comes to Hayes? I don't know exactly what you're asking. Hey, bro, longtime fan. What's up, Keegan? Thanks for coming in, bro. I appreciate it. Anyone see Abby Shart's most recent video? I have not seen her most recent video. What's it about? It's funny because the bodybuilders are usually very nice and open-minded. I mean, I would say like anyone, right? Like there are people that are open-minded and there are people that aren't. So, do you think you pick the extremist? Do you think you pick the extremist when it comes to the Haze movement? I still don't really understand exactly what you're trying to say. Like, are you saying who would you pick? Let the bald man talk. Yeah, I would have been interested to hear what he had to say. How to get started again post lockdown, lost all my progress plus 20. So the thing is that you didn't lose all your progress. Like I think that a lot of people think that because you maybe gained a little bit of weight, like that's the end all be all, everything is like this is the end of everything. But that's not the case. Like you can 100%, like just because you maybe gained weight, like it really isn't the end of the world. You just have to jump back into it. Do you pick extreme examples of people talking about health at every size? I still don't understand. Like, do I pick? What do you mean, do I pick? I'm really don't understand what you're trying. Okay, when you are talking about the health at every size movement, have you considered that you personally tend to gravitate towards a discussion with those who have an extreme health at every size view? There we go. Jeez. I would say, yeah, probably I do. Like, because they are the people that are like the loudest and have the most to say. Like, I mean, I've said it many times in my videos. Like, I, for the most part, probably agree with people that are like health at every size. And again, like I said, for the most part, you can't look at someone and say whether they're healthy or not. But again, there are extremes that it's like, it's silly to say that you can't look at them and be like, oh, maybe they're not healthy. You know, they're 80 pounds. Probably not healthy, right? So yeah, of course, I would say that I probably like cherry pick the extreme side just because that's when it's interesting to talk about. It's not really, like I've talked to people that don't share the exact beliefs. And again, like we pretty much agree. Would you ever walk a mile wearing a weighted vest, ankle, wrist weights to equal a total of 180 pounds lost, or at least your current 150 pounds lost? I'm working on doing that. I've thought about it, but man, that's a lot of weight. Like that's a lot of weight, and I would have to find somewhere where like I would be comfortable dying, because like that would be very, very hard. What moment changed your life when you knew you had to lose weight? So for me, it was, I mean, I've talked about this many times, but basically I got to a point where I was like, these decisions are the reason that I am as large as I am. So I just needed to make different decisions to no longer be that size anymore. Abby talks about Greg Doucette in her video. Ooh, interesting. I think you need a Kyle Lowry Raptors jersey. I knew someone was going to talk about this. So this is a Kyrie or a morning jersey. I honestly know nothing about basketball at all, or about whose jersey I'm wearing. The reason I got it, I'm sure you guys saw a long time ago on my Instagram. There was a post of Marky Mark from Mark Wahlberg way back in the day, where he was like wearing a hat and he had this jersey on. And I was like, oh, I want to recreate that because a lot of people said we look super similar, and so I recreated it. That's why I'm wearing this. That's why I have this jersey, and I just wear it because it was expensive, and I'm not gonna buy something and not wear it. So, can someone tell me what those pizzas are? These are weight plates. So these are 10-pound plates from Fringe Sport. Have you tried to reach out to get Goggins on the... Yeah, I've tried to reach out to him a few times, but it's like he's a busy guy, so it's very hard to actually like get a hold of David Goggins. But I've tried. Hi, just curious, have you seen Dr. Bear's or Dr. Berg's videos on keto? Love today's podcast, by the way. I have not heard I have not watched their videos. Do you still have the car you got from Ellen? Yes, I do. I drove it to the gym today. Do you have any suggestions on how to motivate family to lose weight when you're concerned about their health? So the issue is that no matter what you do in that situation, like, you cannot motivate someone enough to want to lose weight. Like, they have to be fully 100% in it for anything for you to say to actually stick. So again, I'm not saying don't do anything, but like, understand that, you know, by being a good example and trying to just be there for them, that is the most important thing. Instead of just like, it's not like you being like overly trying to be like overly helpful. A lot of times can be a bad thing. So just be there for them. Don't try and be like, oh, you're fat, you need to lose weight. Like, you just got to be there for them. Do you get sick of answering the same questions over and over again, or are you used to it by now? I mean, it just depends on my mood. I'm just being honest. Like, sometimes I don't mind. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to answer these questions anymore. Anorexia is not a joke, and obesity isn't something to take lightly either. Yeah, I would say so. There was, have you tried to go on Joe Rogan's podcast? You might enjoy having someone so friendly on. Again, it's just like, that is a very, very popular podcast, and I am nowhere near the amount of celebrity you need to be to go on, so. I love the 70s cop stash. Thank you. I think I need to like trim it a little bit. It's getting like annoying and it gets in my mouth and stuff, and I don't like that. Yes, very nice, very nice. Are affiliates returning to CrossFit now that Greg Glassman is out? Neon. So this is a long story, but basically, yeah, I think that there are quite a few affiliates. Like our gym here, they decided to, they said that they were going to de-affiliate if nothing changed. And because there were so many changes that happened in CrossFit since he made those statements, I think a lot of gyms are kind of deciding to maybe, I don't think a lot of them even actually like left, like they didn't fully like sign the paperwork, but they were saying like, if there are no changes, we will leave. And so, I think that there are quite a few affiliates that are like deciding to stay. I don't know how many like that left have decided to come back, but I know a lot that maybe said that they were going to leave are actually going to stay now. I lost 140 pounds and was wondering when is the right time to stop losing weight and start gaining muscle. So that's a hard question to answer because the answer is it depends. It just depends on a lot of stuff. If you feel like you're at a pretty good weight, like, you know, you can stop now. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Hi, I just wanted to say that you and others inspired me to get a diploma in sports science. I think that's called Bachelor in English. Congratulations. That's awesome. Do you have any advice on how to get rid of water retention? Well, water retention is a pretty normal thing. I would say, like, for me, I notice that I hold a lot more water if I eat a lot of carbs and if I eat a lot of sodium. So if I eat a lot of either of those things, I know that I will hold on to more water. How can females best maximize muscle gain? Oh, it's really similar to, I mean, it's males and females in that regard. I mean, I'm not going to say scientifically they're the same, but like, it's a similar process, right? It's make sure you're eating enough protein, do workouts that cause muscle hypertrophy, you know, do like things that that will recruit growth in those muscles. So, you know, like sets of 10, sets of 12, and like try and think about progressive overload. So each week either go a little bit heavier or do a couple more reps. And I mean, that's how it works for men. That's how it works for women. Men obviously naturally will gain muscle a little bit faster just because of like we have more testosterone and stuff like that. And women, it might take a little bit longer, but it's a very similar process for both a man and a female. You inspire me to keep going no matter how often I fall off the horse. Well, awesome. Got any recommendations on where to start with supplements and protein powder? So for me, the supplements that I take, I actually have them here. So I take a reds and a greens powder, so those help me get like micronutrients in. And then I take this is a multivitamin. This is a strong multivitamin, and then Strong Joints from BPN. And then the protein that I use this one right here. So this is the vegan protein from BPN as well. This is was it peanut butter cookie, I think it's called? Yeah, peanut butter cookie. I do the vegan, I do the vegan protein because my body does not like to handle like whey, dairy, and stuff like that. So the vegan protein is just a little bit better. And then like I'll take like pre-workouts and stuff like that. But yeah. So if you want to get that, go to BPN. I think, what's it called? Is it BPN.com? BPN supplements. What is it? Let's see. BearPerformanceNutrition.com and use code O2B10 and you'll get 10% off. If you want to get any from them, help support me, so I appreciate it. But if you want to do that, you know. Tips on flexing. Oh, I have a lot of muscle, but I'm very bad at flexing. I am not good. I can do this one and this one. That's about it. Sponsored. Hey, yep. I am sponsored by BPN. So if you guys decide to use my link, it helps me out, which I appreciate. I'm in college and have friends my age who are morbidly obese. How can I help them without hurting their feelings or bringing it up directly? Should I suggest fun activities to do together? So again, I kind of answered this earlier. It really just kind of, there's nothing that you can do to make someone lose weight. Like it really doesn't work. Like it really doesn't work like that. Like you just have to, just try and be a good example for them, and you know, like that's about it. Like there's no like magic thing you can say to them that's going to make them want to lose weight. Like it has to come from them first, and then you can help them for sure. But I have never talked to someone that was like, yeah, I talked to this person, and because I gave them some crazy revelation, they decided to lose weight. It's usually the person has decided they want to do it, and they'll reach out to others for help along the way. I think a lot of people that have good intentions have to understand as well, like a lot of times people that have tried to lose weight a lot of times in the past, telling other people is a huge deal, and it's not something that you like to do very much. Like I know when I was first losing my weight this time that I actually lost it, I really didn't tell that many people because I had failed so many times in the past, and it really like made it to where I just didn't want to tell anyone else, and like I just didn't want to tell anyone else. And so it's like a slippery slope. Like you want to be a good example, but you don't want to pester someone, because eventually if you keep pestering them, they're not going to want to, like, you know, they're not going to want to be around you, because they're like, oh, they want to talk about his weight loss, or like, and it just, you can get sick of it. So do you secretly have Disney songs on your workout playlist? I'm betting you do. I do not. I usually just like will go on Spotify. People call me a boomer because I do this, but whatever. Usually I'll just go to Spotify and click like a artist that I'm really liking at the moment and just listen to like their popular songs or whatever. That's kind of what I do. Dun, 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 dun. During your outro, there's a man who speaks at the beginning. Where is it from? I don't know what he said. I don't know what it's from. It was someone made it for me many, many years ago, and I was like, that sounds cool. I like that. What most people don't understand is how much having loose skin affects your attitude towards weight loss. Thank you so much for giving me the extra bit of confidence. Well, thank you so much for that nice comment. That makes me very happy. John, how can you be a boomer? You're like 12. I'm 27, all right? I am a boomer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a millennial. Did you deal with hair loss / thinning when you first lost weight? I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I ever struggled with that. I know that women usually will struggle more than men for some reason. I don't know why, but will struggle with hair loss and stuff like that when it comes to losing weight. My girlfriend has actually lost 100. She's lost 130 pounds herself, and she struggled with her hair thinning a lot, I guess. That was before we ever met. But I think that it's pretty common. And I think that, there's a lot of different reasons why. Usually it's obviously a lack of like nutrients and stuff like that. And usually there's more, but it's because a lot of people that are trying to lose weight are cutting calories significantly a lot of times. And then a lot of times if you're cutting calories significantly, you end up cutting nutrients that you need without even thinking about it. And then that's why your hair will start thinning. And so I obviously, if it starts happening, I would look into maybe like supplements or making sure that you're getting enough nutrients and your hormones are balanced and stuff like that. And because I don't want to say it's a normal thing, because obviously it's not ideal. But yeah. I am scared of loose skin. I desperately want to wear a bikini, and I know I would not feel comfortable with it. Yeah, so that's hard. Like, that's the thing, and that's why I make and talk about what I talk about so much, is because, like, if you are losing a lot of weight, you're going to have loose skin. It's just going to happen, or you're going to have stretch marks. You're going to have imperfections in your skin that are unavoidable, and I want people to understand that that's a normal thing. And, like, I'm sorry that you might feel that way, but it's like that it just is what it is. Like, I don't want you to feel like you can't wear a bikini, and I want you to feel comfortable. But at the end of the day, like, if you really do feel uncomfortable about that, like, or you feel like loose skin is going to make you feel that way, like, I think it's better to know that before you or while you're losing weight than to just all of a sudden lose the weight and be like, oh my gosh, what is this, right? It's not a fun thing to talk about, but it is what it is, so. I lost 70 pounds last year, bringing me to a healthy weight range. I always thought I was made big, and there was nothing I could do to change it. Making more of my own food was the biggest change. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Do you think personal trainers are worth investing in? I think that it definitely depends on the person. So, like, obviously there are some personal trainers that are better than others. So, it could be, but you could also be investing in someone that doesn't know what they're talking about. So, that's like a really... It just really depends on the person. How are you younger than me? I don't know. I have loose skin too. Want to wear a bikini as well. High-waisted bikini is cool, or a tankini. Well, there you go. All right, you guys. Well, I need to get going. Like I said, I have some other things that I need to do today, but I wanted to get on here and do a little stream for you guys and have some fun. But thanks everyone for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.